In the sleepy suburb of Crestwood Heights, I'd lived in peace for 3 years at 231 Pine Road, a snug two-story with a wraparound porch. My name's Jamal Carter, and my idyllic existence was shattered when Deborah Langley, the HOA's self-proclaimed empress, and her cop husband, Officer Greg Langley, attempted to bulldoze my rights. Deborah was a walking cliché blonde hair, shellacked into place draped in blazers that screamed money, strutting like she owned the county as HOA president. She wielded bylaws like a scepter, converting minor regulations into divine edicts. Greg, a buzz-cut, stocky bulldog, flaunted his badge as a royal crest, his off-duty cop car cruising our streets to remind us he was the law. Together, they formed a suburban tyranny, intimidating the neighbors into submission. But I don't bow to bullies. Particularly those who assumed my skin color made me an easy target. What they didn't anticipate was me turning their power trip on its head into a public reckoning that brought out its corruption and broke their rule. Trouble simmered when I took up residence the old white couple who used to own it. The Thompsons left me their beloved rose bushes and a friendly note. Deborah, though, viewed me as an interloper, her concerns regarding property values and neighborhood character, thinly veiled Barb's comments regarding my lawn within code, complaints about my blues music, low volume, and inquiring if I rented or owned. When I put solar panels on the house, she fretted about aesthetics. My vegetable garden had no place. My barbecues were disruptive parties. The Thompsons' block parties were okay, but my friends were trouble. Greg's cold stares and just cruising drive-bys yelled intimidation. Their racism was coded, never direct, but it throbbed beneath every smirk and citation. The storm struck one September Tuesday. I was drinking coffee on my porch when Deborah's heels clicked up my walkway, her teal blazer worth more than my car payment. "Jamal," she purred. "I need to talk about Integral." I sat back, mourning. "Deborah, what's going on?" She went up my steps uninvited, staking my porch-like domain. "I'm having the Crestwood Heights Gala. Saturday my backyard's too tiny, so I need yours for cocktails and dinner. It's great. Roomy, wonderful lighting. Your yard's photogenic caterers are arranged." I blinked agog. "You want my backyard for your party? It's a community function," she insisted. Not a plea as HOA president. I call the shots. I stood itcha. "President won't allow you to confiscate private property." My response is no. Her smile distorted your misperception. This mindset creates tension in communities like the one we live in. The threat was obvious. "Obey or perish. Learn your place," she snarled. Her racism revealed. I advanced. "Get off my porch. You can't use my property or threaten me." She gaped and used to be defiant, then spat. "You don't know who you're meddling with. Greg won't stand for this disrespect." She stormed off, leaving me prepared for war. That night, Greg loomed over my garage uniform snug badge, smiling as I tinker with my 1985 Yamaha motorcycle. "Jamal," he growled, hand on his belt. "We have to talk, you disrespected Deborah." I didn't glance up. She insisted on my backyard. I said no. That's property rights. He took a step closer. Voice low. "Rome Patricia operates community events. Residents cooperate. It's how it works here. Show me that bylaw." I said his jaw was clenched. "Don't get smart, son. I've been keeping an eye on this neighborhood for years. Your hassle loud music. Suspicious parties, low morals, jazz, at a reasonable decibel. Friends over for ribs. Name one standard I've violated." He towered. "Play. Nice apologize to Deborah. Let her use your lawn, or I'll make frequent visits." The threat was obvious. Misuse his badge to harass me. "What if I tape this and forward it to your boss?" I asked. He winced. "That's against the law without permission. Not like this." I fixed his face. "Darkened individuals such as you bring issues. The racism escaped people who do not bend to you." I lashed back. He glared. "This is not done." He stormed off, but I knew they'd fuel. Saturday morning chaos broke out. Trucks rumbled, workers yelled, and Deborah's gala equipment spilled onto my property, tents on my lawn cords across my driveway. My garden trampled. I stormed out. "This is private property," I informed the caterer. She nodded toward Deborah's house. Pink blazer woman said, "It's arranged." Deborah, in a silk dress, floated over, faking surprise. "Jamal, you've changed your mind. I didn't leave my property." Her face wrined. "It's for the community. It's for your ego," I shouted. She stepped forward. Voice, venomous. This gala takes place, or you'll pay dearly. Her racism was raw. Move your things, or I will. I said you're threatening me. She shouted loud enough for workers to listen. Staging a scene she named Greg. He's crazy, upsetting everything. Minutes later, Greg's police car screeched up, lights flashing with a newbie. Officer Torres. Greg walked over, hand on his belt. What's your problem? Deborah played victim. Jamal's threatening me, ruining the gala. Greg glared at Jamal. Calm down. Step away from my wife. I'm on my porch. I said she's trespassing. He sneered. You're aggressive. Turn around. Put hands behind your back. I froze. You're arresting me for standing here held for disturbing the peace. I told her to get off my property. But Greg reached for his cuffs, eager to dominate. Deborah beamed, gloating at my humiliation as cuffs snapped. Neighbors watched, some in shock, others in outrage, especially Mrs. Lynn. A retired civil rights lawyer across the street, workers whispered, he did nothing wrong. In the patrol car, I seed, but recalled my Assam security system. Following porch thefts, I'd had 4K cameras with audio for every angle uploading to the cloud. Every word, every threat was recorded. Mrs. Lynn had also filmed from her yard, her face furious. An hour later, unable to pin charges, Greg and Torres brought me back. Mrs. Lynn charged over what crime did he commit. Greg bristled, police business, ma'am. I saw it all. She said he asked trespassers to leave. I recorded it. Deborah, overseeing an ice sculpture, cooped such responsive police. Mrs. Lynn wasn't fooled, threatening. He defended his property. Greg snapped, you can't tape cops. It's legal outside in a one-party state. She replied. Torres shifted uncomfortably. Sarge, perhaps we de-escalate. No sign of a crime. Greg doubled down. He disrupted the peace. Spooked my wife. Mrs. Lynn chuckled. Asking trespassers to disperse isn't illegal. I played my trump. My cameras captured everything, her ultimatums, Greg's threats in my garage. Greg palled. Deborah stuttered. That's illegal. Not on my property, I said. Mrs. Lynn laid it on thick. She insisted on his lawn. He refused. Greg threatened a harassment suit. She orchestrated this arrest. It's a civil rights violation. Deborah attempted mobilizing workers. They're ruining our party, a caterer mocked you. Trespassed. He declared, no, you're crazy. Workers tore down, dismantling her party. Mrs. Lynn texted her video to the DA police captain and Channel 5 News, putting it online. Deborah gasped, her social throne in ruins. Greg cornered, uncuffed me. You're free. Mrs. Lynn wasn't finished. You exercised abuse of power. Arrested an innocent man. Repercussions are looming. Workers abandoned. Deborah neighbors glared at her. Gala fell through, her racism uncovered 3 weeks later. Greg was suspended, then terminated, facing federal charges. Deborah quit the HOA. Her home sold at loss. Property values increased without their tyranny. I tend my garden, wave to Mrs. Lynn, and enjoy peace. Earned by truth, sometimes justice comes with a lawyer's phone in a neighborhood's